Welcome to the show. Great to be with you. Thanks for stopping by today. Great to be with you. And here in Florida, we're bracing for this storm. We just got through, not us, but people in the Gulf Coast in Texas, Houston, just got through with Harvey. Going to report on the story, one of the consequences of the storm. Not only do you have to deal with it when it hits, then there's the aftermath. And there's a big concern there in Houston. I'll tell you about it. Dr. Alan Logan is my guest in the first portion of the show. Alan Kamhi's will show up in the second half. And Dr. Logan always has something to share, and so does Alan. The computer models seem to be showing that this Irma, or whatever, is drifting to the east a little bit. We live where we're broadcasting from is Tampa, of course, and that's in the western portion of the state. So yesterday they were showing models that was right over our area. Now this morning the models have it moving more toward the east. They make it an east coast, more of an east coast phenomenon than a west coast phenomenon. But it's concerning. So it's very unusual. If you notice, the weather is far more severe, and we're having these episodes of severe weather that, and scientists keep saying, this kind of storm that's coming in now, the warmer waters, they're connecting these events to climate change. And some people keep insisting, it doesn't exist. It's not real. Well, okay. The data are what the data are. I'm not a climatologist, but I can read. And I can think. And I read that literature. I'm not unconvinced, let me tell you. I am very convinced that their climate change is real. People want to debate about what and who and however it's being caused. Well, humans are contributing to it. The emissions that get pumped into the atmosphere have been destructive. This has been going on for a long time. And when you look at, the changes that are happening with climate and the way the Earth is and the whole notion of, natural phenomena, these the changes don't happen that fast in nature. When it's natural, it takes thousands and millions of years for things to happen. Within the past 100 years, things are happening at a rate that you cannot attribute to nature, because nature doesn't behave that way. I'm just saying, look closely. You can get in touch with the show always, and that's why we show up. And we have any number of ways to do that. And just as a side note, this show does stream, and we can put guests and you on the live stream if you so desire. We now have that capability. It's something that Gary figured out how to integrate it with the stream. It's called video chat. What is it called? Live chat?
Yeah, live video.
What is it?
Live video chat.
Okay. We have that feature now. Yesterday, the show streamed, and the number of people who clicked on the button to watch the show, to watch the stream, was
around about 38,000.
38,000. That's all just on the stream. So we can get you on the stream too. Just let us know. We'll put you on. You call in, you tell Steven, then Gary will get in touch with you, and all you need is a computer with a camera. And a little bit of makeup. No. You don't need that.
Internet service too, so.
Yeah, some internet service. Get in touch with the show. Here's how you do it.
877-897-8255. That's 877-897-8255. If you want to listen to any of our archived, you can go to the iHeartRadio app and look for Let's Talk Nutrition on the iHeartRadio app. And we're on there. Our archive shows are on there. Also, if you follow us on Facebook, I can answer your questions to Doc immediately at Let's Talk Nutrition, one word.
Right. It's all good. Ways to connect. So these storms certainly have to deal with the brunt of them when they hit, and then there's the aftermath. It's being reported now that there are high levels of benzene in the Houston area in the aftermath of Harvey. Benzene is bad news. It's a toxic, flammable chemical compound, and you'll find it in crude oil and gasoline. And the science tells us that it can cause central nervous system damage and bone marrow damage, and is in fact carcinogenic. It will cause cancer. This is very concerning for officials and people living in the Houston area. They did some preliminary air sampling in an area of Houston called Manchester, and they found concentrations up to 324 parts per billion of benzene. That certainly is above the federal safety level. Even when safety officials are wearing breathing equipment. Dangerously high. Health officials reported high levels of volatile organic compounds, in addition to benzene, I guess, that cause a variety of health problems. Again, liver damage, for example, and cancer. This is bad news. There are short-term effects. People will get dizzy, they'll have nausea, they'll have lightheadedness. But one health official, Eleanor Kraft, she's a senior health scientist at the Environmental Defense Fund, said, quote, "We're very concerned about people's long-term health in the area because of the long-term cancer risks associated with this compound. It's real. And the people are trapped. They have no place else to go." Turns out Manchester is a low-income neighborhood, and it's situated between two freeways and a shipping lane and the Valero refinery. And that community in the past has had issues with industrial pollution. Researchers have discovered elevated levels of childhood leukemia in several areas in Houston, including Manchester, which scientists and health officials are attributing to high levels of chemicals in the air. The refineries. Let me go back to climate change. This is a different kind of example, but it's an example that illustrates that these chemicals get into the atmosphere. And all of these compounds that we have released to affect the climate are real, man. They're real. We need to pay attention.
I'm Joy McCarthy, holistic nutritionist, and I expect more from my multivitamin. I've researched many vitamins, and what's truly different about Every Woman's One Daily from New Chapter is that it's fermented with probiotics and whole foods and gentle even on an empty stomach. Every Woman's One Daily helps you feel good every day, giving you immune, energy, and stress support, and nutrients for bone and heart health. You will notice a difference. Every Woman's One Daily recently won the Best Multivitamin Award, and I love that it's non-GMO project verified. Discover the wisdom of nature with New Chapter.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition, wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show, and whatever you may be doing. I haven't talked much over the years. I've talked about it, but not a lot. The whole issue of climate change is a very divisive issue. The minute you mention it, you start alienating people. But, you know, some of the topics are tough. This isn't Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. You got to deal with the tough issues, just the way it is. And I do think that climate change is real, and I do believe, and based on my research and again, I'm not a climatologist, but it's pretty compelling, the data, you know. For example, the concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere as of 2016 is the highest in 3 million years. Nature carbon dioxide just doesn't come out of the ether. No, you know. 2016 was the warmest recorded year. NASA and NOAA data show that global averages were 1.78 degrees Fahrenheit warmer than the mid-20th century average. Nature just doesn't heat up like that. It just doesn't work that way. It doesn't. And these warm waters are setting the stage for these terrible storms. That's what's going on with this hurricane right now. It's in the Gulf. That warm water, man, it's just perfect for it. So I'll address it more as we go along. Try to be fair-minded about it. Dr. Alan Logan's my guest. He's an educator for Genuine Health. Dr. Logan is a featured guest on Let's Talk Nutrition. Dr. Logan, welcome back. It's great to be with you.
Thanks very much for having me, Dr. Garko. It's great to be here.
I'm just curious about your take on I know you didn't come here to talk about that, and I don't mean to put you in a bad spot, but because I know that this issue is very, as I say, politically charged. Just in a word, what's your take on it?
There's absolutely no question whatsoever. Scientific consensus is in. I mean, it's sadly wrapped up in politics, but that's a completely separate and distinct conversation from the scientific reality that we're faced with, and wrapped into everything you've just now said, which are facts. This is scientific consensus. You know, we have some serious issues on this planet right now. Climate change, not to be confused with global warming, because as promised, the issues here are going to be grotesque weather events. That's not to be confused with, global warming. You could have major freezes associated with these changes as well. But wrapped into this, and very importantly, and near and dear to my heart, is what's been described in a recent publication in July in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences: biological annihilation. Those are not my words. Those are the words of the scientists that just reviewed the species losses globally that are wrapped up. Not all of it can be written off to climate change. There are many man-made, human-made factors that are associated with this. But we have serious issues of our time, because every species that we lose is a tiny bit of human health that gets lost with that. So we need to smarten up, and we need to remove politics from these type of equations, because we're all in this together. All of us as human beings. That's the common thread. We're all have a vested interest for ourselves, our families, and generations to come. This cannot be swept under the rug and written off as who we should vote into office and who we shouldn't. These things do matter, of course. They're certainly related to policy, but this is a human problem for all of us throughout the planet.
What's ironic is that we know, for example, the Amazon is a carbon-storing powerhouse, man. And people have been clear-cutting the Amazon, and it's in the Amazon, 1% of tree species sequester 50% of the region's carbon. It's a lifesaver. And what are we doing? We're destroying the Amazon and other rainforests.
That's right.
It's just crazy. It's crazy.
It's true. You're absolutely right. And recently, scientists also have figured out that bodies of water, all of them, sequester carbon dioxide, but it's tapping out. It's like a sponge. It can only, those wonderful paper towels that we see advertised on TV. There's a limit even to the best brand of paper towel as to how much CO2 can be mopped up in the normal, natural ways in which carbon dioxide's been stored. That's tapping out now. So we have got some serious problems in front of us. And I think it's really important to maintain a very positive attitude. This doesn't need to be doomsday scenarios and done for, because the problem with that is that then people are like, whatever, I'll just continue to do my normal routine because there's nothing we can do anyway. And then you just sort of live with your head in the sand.
Right.
There's lots that we can do in small and large ways together for humanity. This is a really important topic, and it transcends some of the other conversations that we have to have as well.
Our individual health and the health of the entire human population on this planet is linked to the health of this planet. That's not just a nice thing to say. That is an immutable, indisputable, cosmic fact. And if anybody doubts that, I think you need to go back to school, with all due respect. 877-897-8255. I feel very strongly about this. I mean, it's just, when you see this kind of phenomenon that's ready to hit Florida, and what just went, those poor souls in Texas, how can you not pay attention?
The perfect complement to your beauty regimen? Try Form Essentials Zinnia. The finest of its kind, Zinnia offers twice as much biotin as other formulas, which has proven to unlock the vibrancy in even the dullest of hair, skin, and nails. Zinnia breaks through and rejuvenates cells internally, helping you achieve the allure of effortless beauty. Reviving your hair, skin, and nails has never been easier. This essential blend of biotin, alpha-lipoic, and hyaluronic acid, collagen, and vitamin C creates lasting enhancements to your natural good looks. Don't go on wondering, you're worth the results. This combination of ingredients can only be found in Zinnia. Pamper yourself with a proven bit of affordable luxury and start looking your best. Ask for Zinnia by name at your nearest vitamin retailer to begin your journey to restored nails, head-turning hair, and radiant skin today. For more information, visit formessentials.com.
When your alarm goes off, do you jump out of bed with excitement? Or does it take multiple alarms, a few snooze buttons, or a morning caffeine fix to get you going? These habits and daily stress cause a vicious cycle in which sleep becomes increasingly elusive. In fact, 54% of Americans report struggles to fall or stay asleep. For a better night's rest, look no further than Solace, an all-natural dietary supplement that supports healthy sleep and relaxation, so you get the rest you need to wake up clear-eyed, alert, and ready for the day. Solace has given thousands a better night's rest and the power to take back their mornings while enjoying the day ahead of them. Solace is formulated with non-addictive, scientifically proven, all-natural ingredients that support sleep and relaxation, such as melatonin, tryptophan, and 5-HTP. For more information or to order Solace, visit takesolace.com. Solace, for healthy sleep naturally.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Great to be with you, coast to coast and around the world. Dr. Alan Logan is my guest today. He's an educator for Genuine Health. I was just at their website this morning. And Dr. Logan, welcome back. I noticed.
Thank you.
I noticed there were a couple of products that dealt with pain relief. One's called Fast Joint Plus Care. The other one is Fast Muscle Plus Care. We've never talked about those. Given the opioid epidemic that's out there because people are in pain and discomfort and whatnot, could we talk just a moment about those? They piqued my interest.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty simple conversation. And again, I really, you said this before when I've been on with you, I have no financial interest in the sales of these products. I am a consultant to the company, and I'm certainly willing to talk about the research, but I have no vested interest in their sales, just for full disclosure on that one. Now, inside that Fast Joint Plus Care product, there is an eggshell membrane powder. It's a branded ingredient called BiovaFlex because they've done research on that particular ingredient. So for listeners, the eggshell membrane is that if you cracked open an egg and fried it on the pan, it would be that shiny inner lining on the eggshell that you typically throw away. And that shiny lining has within it many important components that are actually quite similar to the human joint cartilage. And for many years, this was used actually in vet medicine and had anti-inflammatory properties. It wasn't until 2009 that they started to do some human research on that eggshell membrane, as it's called. And the results were really good. The first research was, preliminary, and then they started to do better quality studies published in better journals, rheumatology journals, showing that it significantly reduced pain, improved mobility, range of motion, and so forth. So the ingredient, those type of components that are in there, like elastin, type 1 collagen, and transforming growth factor, we don't need to get into too much of the technical details of what's in that powder, but this BiovaFlex ingredient, the results in the clinical research were actually deviated from placebo rapidly. You're talking about after just days. And, one of the knocks on glucosamine and chondroitin is that where the research shows that they're actually effective, typically you're 3, sometimes 6 months into use before you really start to see some benefit there. That's always been the knock on that. How many people are willing to take a product for 3 to 6 months before they start to see results?
Right.
Whereas the attractive part about the eggshell membrane product that's in that Fast Joint Plus Care product is the rapid response. And in fact, in Canada, where the regulations are very strict in terms of what claims can be made on bottle and so forth, they actually allow for a 5-day claim right on the box.
Wow.
In terms of relieving joint discomfort, and also allow for the reduced inflammation claim as well, because the research shows that it reduces markers such as C-reactive protein, which is the blood marker of inflammation. So it's a very exciting, innovative ingredient. It's simple, and one of the really nice things about it too is it's not a bunch of different potions and different schemes. You got to take 6 pills of that and a packet of this. The research is really simple. One day, 1 pill, 500 milligrams, that gets you to the research.
But there's it's integrated with bromelain avovita, which is an avocado derived devil's claw and white willow bark, right? Aren't those included?
Yeah, that's in the advanced formula. So you have that muscle care formula that does have those ingredients within it.
Okay, so all right. I'm trying to make sense of this website here.
Yeah, because the devil's claw. If you went into a health food store, the Harpagophytum procumbens devil's claw has some of the better research to support it, but the idea is you have to have a 5% Harpagophytum, which is a sort of bioactive component, which researchers suspect is one of the key ways in which the product works. and it needs to be standardized. So it's important to make sure you get enough. See, one of the problems, in general, and I'm not here to knock the natural health product industry, but sometimes you just find a little smidgen of something that might be good, and it's nowhere near what was used in a clinical study. So that product that you're referring to.
I see what's going on here. You have three renditions here. You have Fast Joint plus Care with fermented turmeric in it. Then you have Fast Muscle plus Care. Then you have Fast Joint plus Care Extra Strength. I get it now. Okay, so that one, the Extra Strength formula is the one that has these other compounds added to it.
Sorry, that's the one that does have the Avoveda, which has its own research. So if you look at that, you'll see 450 milligrams. Again, a really simple level dose of that eggshell membrane. But the avocado fruit, it's avocado and soy unsaponifiables, as they're called. These are sort of phytosterols, the types of things that have been added, to different spreadable products for heart health. It's in that same sort of category. But that, again, another branded ingredient, has research to support it in improving joint function. So that's why it would be considered an extra strength product. You're adding to the eggshell membrane.
Right. The advanced formula has the if I put my glasses on, I would be able to read, right? The BiovaFlex natural egg membrane, 450 milligrams. The Avoveda, which is avocado fruit, 300 milligrams. And then they have some bromelain in there, 200 milligrams. That's an advanced formula. That's a very nice formula. One of the issues, main health issues that people in our audience anyway, for Let's Talk Nutrition, and I think just generally, is joint pain. People just suffer with joint pain, and they're looking for any sort of relief. These products look like they're well formulated. You got the science behind them, as you explained so nicely, and this is genuine health. The advanced formula, the extra strength, it's genuine health, Fast Joint plus Care Extra Strength, sold in fine health stores in North America, Canada, and the United States. If your health store is not carrying those products, you might ask them to get them for you. And you're right, they make a claim. Those taking natural eggshell membrane have found that they are 5 times more likely to experience a 50% reduction in pain versus glucosamine. 3 times more likely to experience a 50% reduction in pain versus a leading prescription drug for joint pain. Those are strong claims. All right. They can back it up. You are listening to Let's Talk Nutrition, coast to coast.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Vigor's InflammaForce may be exactly what you need. InflammaForce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. InflammaForce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's InflammaForce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's InflammaForce is your answer. Purchase InflammaForce exclusively on Amazon.com.
talking with Dr. Alan Logan, educator, consultant for Genuine Health, and they have a couple of products for pain, joint pain and muscle pain. The one we've been talking about, the joint pain for the moment, and they have it's called Genuine Health Fast Joint Plus Care Extra Strength, and it uses the branded, trademarked, of course we've been talking about it, the Avovita compound, and then the eggshell compound as well in this particular product, and they add some bromelain to it. And then I went, and they had a testimonial, and it was pretty good, pretty impressive. This fella took it. Let me find it. He gives his name. It's on the website, and it says, quote, "I used to dread going upstairs, not anymore. I noticed a real difference in about 5 days, just like you said. I have better mobility and virtually no discomfort at all when I squat or sit down. I couldn't say that 2 years ago." His name here on the website is Adam Taff, December 21st, 2016. So you have a testimonial for it too from a consumer. Pretty nice product. They also have one for muscle pain too, don't they, Dr. Logan?
Yeah, that's right. That was the Fast Muscle
Plus Care, right?
Yeah, and so that was the one. Sorry, I was thinking about when you were. There's three of them, so it get a little bit confusing. But that's the one that has the Devil's Claw root extract in it. Again, not just a smidgen of it. It's really important to understand that even though the day I was stating how nice it is with the BiovaFlex, it's just a one a day of straight 500 milligram capsule. But sometimes you need to have the more bulky ingredients like Devil's Claw. It requires extra capsules to be consumed, and in this case it's 3. But it also has the white willow in there, which is so-called nature's aspirin, again with the 25% salicin in there, which gives you a dose that's used in clinical research. And it's the point of this is to try to match where it's one thing to tout, there's research showing that BiovaFlex is effective. There's some research indicating it deviates from placebo after 5 days, and these claims are there, and it reduces C-reactive protein and so forth. But all that is meaningless unless you're actually giving the consumer the levels that they need. Mm-hmm. And I just think it's a really important conversation in natural health product industry in general, because again, sadly, you just sometimes see little smidgens. So with the Devil's Claw in there at 1,200 milligrams, but it's specific and standardized to the harpagophytum, or harpagosides, I should say, that are said to be the active components. So again, you're getting the levels used in the appropriate amounts. Yep. And there's just, there's different choices for consumers. I
sure.
think the extra strength one is, I think, something that individuals who have higher on the end on the spectrum of need would go towards the extra strength. But entry level weekend warriors, aches and pains, I think it's really worth giving the eggshell membrane, the BiovaFlex, a shot in the entry level Fast Joint Plus Care product.
Mm-hmm. This one we're talking about is Fast Muscle Plus Care, the advanced formula. It has a combination of BiovaFlex, natural eggshell membrane, Devil's Claw root extract, white willow stem and bark extract. And I'm looking here on the website, and they have a little off to the side in the column, works in only 2 hours, research proven. So, and Canada is pretty strict. Genuine Health is a Canadian company, yes?
Yeah, that's correct.
And so they got for that to make these kind of claims, to get that past that agency in Canada. I mean, they're even tougher, some say, than the FDA. I don't know, but yeah.
Well, you have to, again, these claims in Canada, the difference is there's no little asterisks or anything like that, and most of the claims don't even pass muster with Health Canada. But if there is research in place, they will allow for claims right on the box. I mean, this is something that actually is stated front and center, without the little disclosure. But you have to have research for that. You can't, just make this stuff up on the fly. And with the research in place on the eggshell membrane, and this is not to say that the last word is written on this either, but it's really encouraging that they have those things in place. And the 2 hours that you're referring to is actually on the white willow, because
I see.
Preponderance of the research shows that white willow, the active component in there, which aspirin is based on, it's called salicin, the naturally occurring chemical, which was the basis of the discovery of aspirin. It peaks in the bloodstream about 2 hours after consumption.
Okay.
So that's, I think, where that
okay, good enough. So there are really 4 products. There's the Fast Joint Plus Care. Then there is the Fast Joint Plus Care Extra Strength. And then you have Fast Muscle Plus Care. And then there's one more. It's Fast Joint Plus Care with fermented turmeric. Now that's an interesting combination.
Yeah, there's more and more research coming out on turmeric in general for joint care. Its naturally occurring anti-inflammatory properties that it appears to have. And the fermentation of again, this is something that you and I have talked about many times, the application of fermentation, allowing microbes to go to work for us to create better products. Something might be good, but it can be made better with microbial application. And fermentation of turmeric seems to be one of those cases. The research shows that fermentation magnifies the amount of these active, bioactive constituents within the turmeric itself.
Sure. And they got fermented organic turmeric rhizome, from it's curcuma longa, 500 milligrams, and the BiovaFlex natural eggshell membrane, 450 milligrams. Just 2 ingredients in that product. All 4 of these are found at their website, genuinehealth.com. Go ahead. Doc.
Oh, no, that's it. I was just going to say that it's a response to consumers, because so many consumers are saying, hey, I love the eggshell membrane, but I'm taking turmeric. Well, now they have it in one spot. So there's a convenience factor here as well.
Good. Sold in fine health stores throughout in North America, Canada, and the United States. If they're not carrying these Genuine Health products that we featured this morning, ask them to. Tell them to visit genuinehealth.com and take a look. Very impressive. These formulations are impressive and backed up by research. Dr. Logan, thanks so much. You're not going to Baltimore by any chance, are you?
No, but I wish I was.
Yeah, I wish you were. I wish you were too. Get a chance to see you at Expo East. But thank you so much for being on. GenuineHealth.com. Pay a visit, learn, read more about the products that we talked about this morning for joint and muscle pain. There were 4 of them, and they have, of course, all the others that we have mentioned. Very, very keen and interesting company. Very unique in the way they approach things, and fermentation is part of their paradigm. We'll be back. Let's talk nutrition, coast to coast, worldwide. welcome to the show. Thanks for tuning in. Great to be with you. Glad you could stop by, and I'm glad we could stop by too to be with you. We like the connect. You can always join the conversation. We encourage it. We love it when you call the show and talk to me, talk to the guests, talk to Ghosts from Christmas Past. We'll engage you. We'll field your question. We'll listen to your comments, your point of view, your experience, whatever you'd like to share. It's quite all right. And it doesn't have to necessarily even be what I'm talking about with a guest or what I'm just talking about, period. You just call. That's why we're here. So maybe there's something urgent that you want to discuss, and I'm mindful of that. And you don't need to, don't worry about being so polite, I don't want to disrupt their thing. You just call. It's okay. And here's how you do it.
877-897-8255. 877-897-8255. I like when the guests call. I like when the guest gets calls from the listeners.
Yeah.
It makes it interesting because you find out what's on other people's minds.
Of course. And sometimes people will ask questions that others are wanting to ask, or share a particular story about some health issue that may help others understand what's going on with them. Is all good. You're right. We like that. Yesterday, I believe it was, I reported on and commented on this idea of, the protein shake diet. This is going to tie in with my guest today, Kamhi, who wanted to talk about protein. So I thought I would revisit this for a moment. And the protein shake diet for weight loss. This is a very popular way to do it, a protein shake diet. I'm not, as I said when I first reported on this story, I am not opposed to the concept or principle of using protein shakes in a weight loss program. What causes me concern is when you say protein shake diet. I mean, words mean, right? And it turns out a protein shake diet is exactly that. Protein shakes. And you put yourself at nutritional risk when you do that. We'll see. I'll get Ellen to talk about that a little bit too, get her take on it. But protein, as it turns out, has this ability to curb appetite. And that in itself then, theoretically, and it does in practical sense too, reduce calorie intake. So it becomes a form of calorie control or management. And make no mistake about it, if you're doing a protein shake diet, where the diet is primarily constituted of protein shakes throughout the day, you're going to lose weight in the short term. However, long term, you can't sustain that way of eating. You're going to get sick. Your immune system is going to take a hit. Your digestive system is going to take a hit. Your brain's going to take a hit. Your cognitive functioning declines because you're not getting the necessary nutrients that would constitute an optimal nutritional status. There's things called carbohydrate and fat, another nutrients in them, the nutrients in them, vitamins and minerals. And you have phytochemicals. You're just consuming protein. Not a good idea. And it will work. Now you have a choice too. You can use animal-based proteins like whey or plant-based. Plant-based are now becoming into a more popular use these days, which is, I think, a good thing. And, people, when they want to lose weight and they're in a big hurry to do that, they resort to these methods that don't serve them well in the long run. They just don't. So you should be mindful of it. And I didn't say high protein diet. I said high protein shake diet. But even a high protein diet, when you only have 3 macronutrients. If you start making one high, one very low, or eliminating one or the other, or both, or 2, and just eating one type of macronutrient, it can't be good. Bad things are going to happen sooner or later. Now, it turns out, you'll see that Dr. Kamhi has some comments, I'm sure, about protein, and educated for Country Life Vitamins. Dr. Kamhi, welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. Do you have a take on the protein shake diet?
Hi, Mike. How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Welcome back. Thanks for having us on. Myself, Ellen Kamhi, the natural nurse, and Country Life as your guest today. I certainly could make some comments about protein, and you're making an excellent distinction between using high-quality protein as part of a protocol, and certainly you did bring up weight loss. That's one of the things that various kinds of protein are used for, as well as exercise recovery, healthy aging, and those kinds of things. But we could talk about weight loss first, if you'd like, because that's something that, does attract a lot of people. And I think, as you indicated, they try to do it in a way that's going to be super quick. In fact, they may lose weight super quick, but it's not going to be sustainable over time. And that's why it's much better to think about something like whey or a good quality vegan protein to use along with healthy eating to really increase muscle mass as well as cut fat.
And you have all kinds of choices these days. You have whey protein, you have casein protein, egg white protein, soy protein, plant protein, beef protein, all sorts of choices. Is there one that you prefer more than another for yourself?
Okay, well, I would say that whey protein is really one of the premier proteins for those who are not vegan, and for those who are vegan and others who choose a non-animal kind of protein. Organic hemp is very good, as well as pea protein, and along with cranberry protein. But let's talk about whey and weight management, because there's so many actually studies on this. There's one study that looked at a 23-week program, so that's not instant, like 1 week, and you can bring whey protein up to about 20% of the diet, and that was able to reduce the fat mass by 2.8 kilograms, and really does help in transforming fat into muscle. Of course, we're going to talk about also having exercise, eating a really nice, healthy, adjunctive diet, such as salad and steamed vegetables, along with the whey and clean meats if you are not vegan. But these have actually been studied because we know that whey has every kind of amino acid, which is really interesting, both essential and non-essential. And that's a tricky word, because non-essentials are also essentials, but non-essential amino acids our body can create on its own, such as alanine and aspartate and cysteine. But the essential, what are called essential amino acids, such as the branched chain amino acids, which actually make our muscle, like leucine, isoleucine, and valine, they have to be gotten from the diet, and whey happens to be a really clean, excellent source of them.
All right, we come back, we'll talk more about this business about protein. A lot of misconceptions about protein. There are some people that even believe if all I need to do is eat protein and my muscles will grow. We'll see about that.
Almost 52% of men experience erectile dysfunction and benign prostatic hyperplasia. If you've had challenges with virility, sexual health, or low energy, Body Vigor's Alpha Extension may be the answer for you. Body Vigor's Alpha Extension can help revitalize your alpha male and extend your love. Our formula is one of the highest quality nutraceuticals available, formulated to support the processes involved in promoting a healthy male sex drive, energy, and stamina. Alpha Extension has 2 powerful herbal blends, Virilo Max, which focuses on male sexual health, and T-Pump Activator, which helps balance your testosterone levels. Revitalize your alpha male with Body Vigor's Alpha Extension. Exclusively available on Amazon.com.
Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Thanks for stopping by today. Ellen Kamhi's my guest, educated for Country Life Vitamins. In all the years in my training, weight training, as well as my academic training, but talking about my weight training at gyms, the macronutrient that gets the most attention in a positive way is protein. protein. They're always talking about protein. And people believe that if I just eat extra protein, and if I just do that alone, my muscles are gonna grow and get bigger. Well, that's not true. You need added calories and you need exercise, resistance training to make that happen. And you run a risk, and one of my producers, Gary, who's sitting here right next to me, who does the technical production for the streaming, will tell you. He visits gyms and they do demonstrations. And what one of the most frequent questions you get?
Protein. Everybody wants to know the difference between whey protein, the difference in the whey proteins. Everybody wants to know about pre-workout mixtures and protein. Of everything. And you're like, and I'll ask them, I'm like, what are you trying to do? And they're like, oh, lose weight, gain muscle mass.
Right. So I'm just saying, you got two other macronutrients, and usually at the gym, carbohydrate gets thrown under the nutritional bus. Alan Kamhi's my guest. Welcome back, Alan. So people believe that all I need to do is eat protein, and I'm going to get these big muscles. That's not going to happen, is it?
Well, that's a very good point if you're looking at bodybuilding. And, of course, that protein is important, but you have to, whatever you decide to use, if you're going to use some kind of shake, like you said, you have to read the ingredients. Because, unfortunately, particularly in the bodybuilding field, very often if you read the back of those labels, they will have some protein. The kind of whey can vary greatly, or it can be some other kind of animal protein, as you said. But what about the sweeteners? What about the other ingredients, the thickening agents? Is it organic? Is it GMO-free? Is it gluten-free? Does it have a lot of artificial sweeteners with long words that you don't even know what they mean, some of which can cause neurological damage even though they're on the market? So there's a lot more to know about when you read a label such as a Country Life whey protein label, and we have vegan protein as well. You're going to see things like omega-3 and 6 fatty acids, dietary fiber, wheat and gluten-free. There's even one with hemp included, which is a really good quality organic essential amino acid kind of protein. So you're so right. There's so much to know. It's certainly not what you said. And you know where I see that a lot in terms of gyms, because I'm a gym rat myself, I have to tell you, for over 50 years, believe it or not. But a lot of times, especially younger people who are coming in, want to get this huge, unrealistic muscle growth, and of course do themselves in. That leads to abuse of steroids and things like that, as well as overindulging in protein rather than having a balanced approach.
Of course. Biochem is a subdivision of Country Life Vitamins, and that's where you find these wonderful, their whey protein products are fabulous. Could you talk, if you could spend a little bit of time talking about their particular protein products, whey, or if they have plant-based, they do?
Yes, we have both. But again, for you, if it's for bodybuilding, if it's for weight loss, if it's for kids, by the way, I use this for my grandchildren, to tell you the truth, because their mother, my daughter, is not as into holistic living as I am. That's a parental stress that some of us have. But nonetheless, I make sure my grandchildren get whey protein, and that really supports their learning capacity as well as building body mass, which of course is so important in children. So it's not just for bodybuilders. And I choose really Country Life for a reason. the 100% whey protein, we have organic, USDA organic whey. That is full whey protein. It's not an isolate. We also have Biochem 100% whey protein isolate. So there is a difference between isolate and full whey, but they're both really good. Depends on if you want to have fat or you want to have it fat-free. So you can choose either one. But in either case, they are the isolate is lactose-free, so very often people, even with dairy sensitivities, don't react to that. And is your protein not denatured? That's called undenatured, because some of the products, especially brought in from other countries, is denatured.
What does that mean? What does denatured mean?
That include the fractions that contain immunoglobulins and lactoferrin. So especially when we're talking about children and wellness versus weight loss and bodybuilding, something like immunoglobulins becomes very, very important.
Okay. That notion of denatured, we come back, I'd like to visit that, because I've had guests come on and say that, but they don't explain it. And I get questions then, what did he mean, or what did she mean when she said denatured? We come back, we'll get Ellen to break that down and get an understanding of what that is and how that happens. And it's a very good point. It may be a protein product, but it may be the way it was manufactured, the way they handled the raw materials, you end up with a product that doesn't serve you well, nutritionally speaking. You are listening to Let's Talk Nutrition, coast to coast and worldwide.
Women who are pregnant or planning to have a child have specific nutritional needs. Maintaining optimal nutritional intake is important for mother and baby. Body Vigor's Preferred Prenatal can help mother and baby receive the appropriate building blocks for growth, development, and healthy function. The Preferred Prenatal formula provides essential vitamins and minerals, along with added support ingredients such as folic acid and DHA. Preferred Prenatal also incorporates a bonus herbal blend to help the mom-to-be with the uncomfortable side effects of pregnancy, like nausea, vomiting, mood swings, and uterine health. Support a healthy pregnancy for you and your baby with Preferred Prenatal, exclusively on Amazon.com.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition, wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show, and whatever you may be doing. Thanks for stopping by today. We appreciate your listenership. And we are coast to coast, and we are global, too. Yesterday on the stream, we had 38,000 that hit the stream. We stream live on Facebook, YouTube, and at letstalknutrition.com. Just want to let you know. Ellen Kamhi is the guest today. She's an educator for Country Life Vitamins and a natural nurse that she is. And we're talking about protein, a very important topic, no doubt about it. It's a macronutrient. But make no mistake either, there's a lot of confusion that circles around protein. All kinds of misconceptions and misuse of protein, unfortunately. And a lot of that's due to, marketing. And you would think that was the only macronutrient. The carbohydrate, you need them. And you need fats, too. So that's a story for another day. And Ellen had mentioned this notion of denaturing proteins. I asked her to break what that really means and how does that happen. And you can end up with a product that is, in fact, denatured. But another question that comes up, well, Ellen, welcome back. Another question that comes up all the time, if you could address this too, is how much protein should I consume a day? So if you could first talk a little bit about the denaturing of proteins and how that happens and what the consequences are, and then how much protein should a person consume depending on their health, weight, and whatnot.
Those are two great questions, and thank you so much, Michael. We can see you really understand this topic quite a bit. And at Country Life, we're really, really focused on offering the best quality protein. So I do want to answer this question. What does denatured mean? Because Country Life's biochem protein is not denatured. So let me tell you what denatured means. It means that the structure of the amino acid has been broken down. And how does that happen? Well, it happens during the processing. And what they do, and it's much less expensive, by the way, to make denatured protein, and you'll often find it if you buy bulk, particularly out of the country. Country Life only produces from United States, USA, raised cows and developed whey. So the exposure of whey protein to acid, that breaks it down. And those are some of the things that cause it to be denatured. Okay, so also oxidation of the amino acids. The amino acids, I'm sure our listeners know, are the building blocks of protein. It's kind of like the alphabet. If you put certain letters together, you get certain words. Well, if you put certain amino acids together, you get different kinds of protein. Right. Also, high heat might be used during the pasteurization process, and that will lead to denatured. Also, agitating or very heavy spinning during the filtration and packaging processes, as well as mechanical blending. So all of these things can cause a breakdown in the attachment of the amino acids, which are like those little letters that make the healthy protein and that make whey protein so beneficial. So even if it's denatured, the amino acids are still present, so you can claim they're in a product, but they're not going to be absorbed as well as one that is undenatured. Also, where we get our whey, it is GMO-free and BGH-free, which is something that they give to cows to make them produce more milk, but we don't use that kind of milk. Also, it's a really sophisticated filtration process that is cold, and we actually are in relationship with the providers of our specific whey protein. Sure. So it's processing the whey protein without denaturing it, so or otherwise
destroying the nature of the structure of the amino acids, destroying the compound. And for those of you interested in chemistry, in my biochemistry class, you know, this is a big deal. Amino acids are a big deal. Any group, they're organic compounds, and they'll contain one or more amino groups, okay, and one or more what are called carboxyl groups. And then what you see in what you're consuming, the alpha amino acids, are the component molecules of protein, and some, as Ellen pointed out earlier, can be made in the body. They're non-essential. And others cannot be made in the body, and it's essential you get them from your diet. That's why they're called essential amino acids. So for those of you interested in biochemistry, there's a little taste. Ellen, how much protein should a person consume? If I had an amino acid for every time I was asked that question, I'd have more amino acids than I have sense. How much protein should a person take?
You know, I'm going to give you an answer, but I think it really varies much more, like you mentioned earlier, Michael, individually. But in general, we're talking about how much activity do you do. So somebody who has low to moderate activity needs less, about 0.4 grams for every pound. So you can figure out what you weigh, multiply that by 0.4, and that would be about how much you would
So
need.
if you weighed 165 pounds, let's see, what would that be? About 66 grams of protein a day?
Boy, you're good at math, but you know what? That's specifically for, let's say, a typical woman, and a male might need a little bit more because men tend to have higher muscle mass, but, you know, this isn't true for everyone. So we're giving ballpark.
Well, let me just tell you, being in the gym these days, I see some young women, they got more muscle mass than I do. And, I mean, they are fit as can be with dense.
That's right, ripped. But if you're talking about those kind of people, that would be an athlete. They actually do require a higher amount, about 0.8 grams for every 1 pound of body weight.
What is one of the biggest health risks in somebody, fit or not fit, athlete or not athlete, consuming too much protein? What's one of the biggest dangers?
Yeah, and that is really, you can acidify your system, and you can really stress out your kidneys, and you can also cause gout. Gout is one of the diseases that even conventional doctors recognize as linked to ingestion of, over-ingestion of protein, because it can cause a uric acid accumulation in various joints. So, yeah.
So, again, how too much of a good thing can be a bad thing. You know, that M word, M. Moderation. We come back, we'll have the LTN health question of the day. Right answer, $25 gift card.
Are your joints feeling out of date and stiff? Is that old sports injury flaring up? Is your body aching from the daily wear and tear at work? Body Vigor's Joint Ready keeps you at the ready for any joint pain that gets out of line. Unfortunately, as we age, joint pain becomes more common. Body Vigor's Joint Ready can help provide relief so you can continue to go about your day. Our formula contains sulfated forms of glucosamine and chondroitin. Studies show that these sulfated forms are more effective than regular glucosamine bound to hydrochloride. Joint Ready promotes a healthy inflammatory response, facilitates cartilage synthesis, and provides additional antioxidants. Keep your joints at the ready with Body Vigor's Joint Ready, exclusively on Amazon.com.
here's the LTN health question of the day. My guest today, Ellen Kamhi, was talking about I asked her how much protein should a person consume. And it depends. It depends on your gender, depends on your health status, your physical stature. You know, if you're 5 foot compared to 6 foot, 6'5", whatever, difference, right? You're going to need more if you're bigger. But on average, if you're doing let's say low to moderate activity level, and everyday person, Ellen gave a recommendation about how much protein per pound of body weight. Was it 0.2 grams for every 1 pound for low to moderate activity level? 0.4 grams or 0.8 grams? 0.2, 0.4, or 0.8 per pound of body weight for, low to moderate activity level. Call the number and you'll win a $25 supplement gift card to Vitamin Discount Center.
877-897-8255. That's 877-897-8255.
Maybe somewhere in the middle. There's a hint. Ellen, welcome back.
That's great that you offer your listeners an opportunity to get a gift card. And, it's really wonderful that you give them this information.
Yeah, we've been doing it we've been giving gift cards away for 12 years. I don't know what that would amount to in terms of dollars and cents, but
you don't want to know, right? No, that's fantastic.
We love doing it. It's just interesting. Marketing is part of modern life. I get that. I understand it. It's necessary. I've consulted with companies in their marketing. I've done marketing research, large sample survey research in marketing arena. It's been part of my career, at least some part of it. But on the other hand, Ellen, the marketing leads to all kind of misunderstanding among consumers, and protein is just one small example. All of the we didn't even scratch the surface about misconceptions about protein, but my goodness.
One thing, different sources give you a different kind of amino acid profile. Like fish protein has a biological value of about 70 or 80, poultry of about 80. Beef protein is actually lower, believe it or not. The biological value is 70, and that's one of the wonderful things about whey, especially undenatured whey that Country Life offers, is that it has a biological value of 100, which means the amount of amino acids that the body can take in from that kind of protein. So it's really high.
Yeah, and some proteins are not complete. They don't have all the amino acids, right?
That's exactly true as well. We talked about, and you explained so well about essential versus non-essential. We need them all, right? But the essential we need from our diet, and it really has an amazing array, like a full array of the amino acids. So whey is very unique in that. We might not be surprised, since of course every single mammals, they feed milk to their young. One of the reasons is because it's such a complete protein. But in whey, we're taking out a lot of the calories, a lot of the fat, some of the lactose that people are sensitive to. So it's a very, very easy thing to digest, and certainly is super supportive of the immune system because of the immunoglobulin content.
Sure. Let's go to St. Petersburg, Florida. Hopefully they will not get a direct hit from this hurricane that's ripping through the Gulf. Mel, welcome back to the show. It's nice to have you on, Mel.
Hi, Doc.
How you doing, pal?
I'm doing pretty good.
Attaboy.
I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
And I've used the Biochem protein many times.
Good.
And I like it.
It tastes good. It's not when you open the canister, if you notice, it's not clumpy. Some of these.
Right, and I tend to want to use. Now, this is just, maybe I'm wrong. I'm an amateur. I tend to want to stick to the 100% whey protein concentrate. I mean, we're all, and I don't quite understand the difference between that and the isolate.
Okay, we'll explain.
It's less processed.
Yeah, isolate, the proteins are isolated, the fat and the carbs are removed, and the protein is isolated. The concentrate has more calories in it because of the carbohydrate and the protein values. Isolate means that, isolated. The protein gets isolated from those other macronutrients. But how much did Ellen say per pound of body weight for an average person, moderate to low activity level? 0.2, 0.4, 0.8 grams per pound of body weight.
0.4 grams.
0.4 grams. Congratulations. How you doing with your chemo, pal?
I'm doing it. I had some scans here a couple weeks ago, and it's working.
Good.
My lesions had not spread, and they were smaller.
Oh.
And so I'm going to have another. I just finished my 12th treatment once a week.
God bless you.
Once a week.
God bless you.
And now I'm going to go for another 3 months.
All right.
See if it keeps working, and that's what I'm doing okay.
God bless you, man. I'll pray for you.
Thank you.
You're a warrior. Congratulations, you won a $25 gift.
I don't know, Doc. I believe I will be all right. When I say that, I do believe I will be all right.
That a boy. You just take it one day at a time. You take it one day at a time. You're going to be fine. Okay?
And I asked you once about the alpha-lipoic acid. I don't take anything without asking the oncologist. And he told me I could take it. And I think it made me feel a little better.
All right. All right. You take care of yourself. We'll catch you the next time, all right?
Thank you.
All right, Mel. Ellen, thank you so much for being on the show today.
It was a pleasure as always. Thank you for the great show, Michael.
Oh, it's our pleasure, too. We have a lot of people, thousands of people that listen and watch this show. Many are in great health, some are in the middle, and some are battling and struggling and literally fighting for their life. So it's a privilege to do this show. Country Life vitamins sold in fine health stores throughout the United States. Their Biochem line, those protein products in that line are among the best of the best. You can't go wrong. I used them for years. In the meanwhile, take care of yourself. I'll catch you tomorrow. Rest of the day, think about your health. What are you going to do today to better your health? You know, because your health is your wealth.